What does it take to stand out as a new business these days? It seems like there's a company coming onto the scene every other month, set to disrupt and compete with bigger and more established businesses. It's almost magical how one year you're buying flights from an airline and the next you wouldn't think about booking anything without checking Kayak first. Companies like Airbnb, Dollar Shave Club, and even Ben & Jerry's all started off as the underdogs before they became household names. They had much fewer resources and way less manpower than their competition, but we'll show you how, with a new product and some really creative marketing, these companies were able to break through the noise. Let's start with Airbnb. One of the most buzzworthy businesses of the last decade, this bed and breakfast site may be currently valued at $30 billion, but was originally a side project created to make a few bucks. In San Francisco, circa autumn 2007, budding entrepreneurs Joe Gebbia and his roommate Brian Chesky were in a bit of a bind. They had just quit their jobs to pursue new projects the same week their landlord raised their rent 20%. Knowing that a major conference was happening that week in San Francisco and all of the hotels were sold out, Joe was hit with inspiration. Why not set up people in their home as a sort of bed and breakfast, renting out an air mattress in the small space for cheap? It was definitely a bit of a long shot, but they built a website and tentatively named the company Airbed and Breakfast, while sending the bare-bones site out to the tech blogs. 3 people were booked that first night and paid $80 apiece. The plan had worked, and the pair realized they had a good idea on their hands. They brought on their former college roommate Nathan Blecharczyk to help launch an actual service. Now, despite their future success, Airbed and Breakfast failed to gain traction at first. The company had 3 failed launches, and they were turned down by over a dozen investors. As fall of 2008 came around, the trio tried one more time to launch the site, this time in Denver during the 2008 Democratic National Convention. As an added measure, the group capitalized on the political climate and made repackaged cereal boxes based on the presidential candidates. Each box cost a whopping $40 and had information about the site and the company within them. As bizarre as the grassroots marketing campaign seemed, it did work. The company raised $30,000, as well as the attention of investors, and by 2009, Airbed and Breakfast simply became Airbnb and launched one final time to acclaim, and none of it would have been possible without novelty breakfast cereal. Thanks, Obama. Not all success stories start as side projects between lifelong friends. Sometimes all you need is a surplus of razors and a vendetta against the shaving industry. That's what happened to Michael Dubin, the founder of Dollar Shave Club. At a party in 2011, a friend's father-in-law told him that he was having trouble getting rid of some razor inventory, and Michael, who hated having to shop for them, immediately came up with an idea. Why not take away the hassle and expense of trying to get razor blades in the first place? Thus, the idea of Dollar Shave Club was born, and the site was constructed shortly thereafter without any help from investors. In March 2016, Dubin uploaded the first video in Dollar Shave Club's marketing campaign. A snarky and comical video that proclaimed, "Our blades are f***ing great," the video cost less than $5,000 to make, and by the end of the day, they'd taken over 12,000 orders and coincidentally signed a $1 million investment deal. That year, they made over $4 million in revenue and continued with a similar tone for the rest of their marketing. Dollar Shave Club has been recently acquired for $1 billion in cash, all because of good video content and a hatred for shopping. Side note, if you want to learn more about viral marketing and missed our video on this subject, click the card up in the corner. Sometimes success is sweet, and there's probably no better example of that than the ice cream empire of Ben & Jerry's. Originally founded by 2 childhood friends named, you probably guessed it, Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield. In the 1970s, the two wanted to go into business together and began work building a bagel shop. Ultimately, though, the equipment for bagel making ended up being too pricey, so they took a $5 ice cream making course and converted an old gas station in Burlington, Vermont into Ben & Jerry's homemade ice cream shop, hoping to get the young adults of the college town. The shop was charming and rustic, but began losing money. In the winter, nobody wanted ice cream, and in the summer, customers were demanding bigger scoops than what they were paying for. So Ben & Jerry went into the wholesale business and started selling pints to restaurants and mom-and-pop grocery stores. The brand began catching on due to innovative flavors like cookie dough ice cream. Slowly but surely, Ben & Jerry's picked up enough attention to get a distributor and the attention of rival companies. Pillsbury had just acquired Häagen-Dazs, and when they realized that Ben & Jerry's was encroaching on some of their distributors, they hit their retailers with an ultimatum: drop Ben & Jerry's from their sales or they would pull their products. Unable to ignore such a demand, the distributors informed Ben & Jerry that soon they'd stop selling their ice cream. This ended up backfiring spectacularly. Ben & Jerry knew that they couldn't sue such a powerful company, but instead began a grassroots campaign called "What's the Doughboy Afraid of?" They took out signs on buses and put an 800 number on their packaging that led to a voicemail where Ben & Jerry explained the situation. Callers that left their information would be sent a kit that contained bumper stickers and t-shirts to aid in their protest. The campaign ended up being incredibly successful, and soon major publications were talking about Ben & Jerry's, rocketing the company into success. Pillsbury withdrew their threat under the pressure, and Ben & Jerry's has gone on to open hundreds of stores all over the world, eventually selling in 2000 to Unilever for over $300 million. Sometimes protests can be profitable. So there you have it. Success can be born from a multitude of methods. Sometimes all you need is a really good idea and really clever marketing. If you want to know more about how to turn your great idea into a business, we have a Skillshare class that's designed to do exactly that. The Art of the Start, Turning Ideas into High-Growth Businesses, taught by Guy Kawasaki, the former chief evangelist of a little company called Apple. In this class, Guy and his frequent business partner Bill Reichert give access to the most powerful principles they've learned in their careers that can help you bring your concept to the next level and garner investor interest. Every business is unique, but there are some principles that can better help you position for success. Through the video lessons on Skillshare, you'll cover starting, launching, fundraising, pitching, and socializing your business idea. By the end, you'll share your own 10-slide pitch deck for your business and show the class your wow factor. To get started on Skillshare for free and watch Guy's class, click over here. If you'd like to keep up with our YouTube content, just subscribe and hit the bell so you get a notification every time we post a new video. And be sure to check out the other videos in our Skillshare question series. Thanks for watching.